Previously on Sunlust. If the penultimate map looks like it is going way too fast, trust me, it is just a tiny portion of what we're going to be dealing with today. This was, ironically enough, a really good way to be prepared for the final fight. Because I'll tell you one thing, God Machine will have you running constantly. And if you don't know how to tackle the individual ambushes, you are going to be cooked time after time. Let's get ready for the finale. We finally made it to the finale of Sunlust by Ribbiks and dannebubinga, with music soundtrack Retribution Dawn by Aubrey Hodges from the PlayStation version of Doom, sequenced by Silent Zora. This is MAP30 God Machine. And forget the TDC counter, I mean, it's taken days to get the route down pat for this thing. TDC's an afterthought. Let's go ahead, hit the switch here to the right, and let's immediately go to the left at the lowering pillar. Now, the biggest thing about this map is it is a series of enormous ambushes, and if you don't know the tricks to taking out each one, it could spell absolute disaster. So let's go ahead, grab the armor bonus there, hit the switch back here, which is actually going to not only move us along, but open up secret number 1. So let's go here, wait for the crushers to drop, then get to our platform, and secret number 1 is actually right before the entrance of the first major ambush. So go to the right of the Cacodemon, and here it is. 2 rockets and a berserk pack. Just like that, we are ready for our very first ambush. And this one already feels brutal, but there is a trick to this one. So go ahead, undo the 2 locks, then we can undo the main lock to start the ambush. All those bodies on the side will be revived because there are archviles under the ground. So, our main goal here is to wait until the bodies get revived, and as soon as they are, we need to punch through to the right. We're ultimately going to circle strafe this entire fight, but our priority is taking out the archvile. So if you can get him isolated, get him out of here immediately, that way nothing will be revived and you won't run out of ammo. This is one of the very few fights in the entire map that you can run out of ammo on if you're not careful, if that archvile is allowed to stay in the middle of the pile too long. So let's go ahead, get everyone just spun up, and at this point it's just an exercise in circle strafing and not being too reckless shooting rockets between the pillars. Now, one thing to be cautious of, if anything falls near the inside of the pillars or the walls, they can be revived by the archviles that are underground. So do be careful there, because some enemies could come back on you if you're not careful. Just try to keep everything in the middle as much as possible. And again, we do not want to run out of all of our rockets here, because there is a second part to this ambush, and it is to involve an entire group of archviles. So let's go ahead and get everyone spun out of here. Hell Knight, thank you. And then we want to fully load up on chain gun ammo. So reason here is because the very next fight we're going to go into after ambush number 1 is better done if you have the chain gun. So let's release this and just use both the waterfall here and the corner to neutralize the archviles. They're not really a problem, and since we took everything out in the middle, you should be able to take them out before they can revive hardly anything. So just like that, we use our supercharge that we saved, hit the switch, and now we're back here. All this stuff is now going to come back to life. Just funnel them all into this hallway. And whenever we start to see revenants, just throw rockets down there. Ideally, we want to draw the revenants out, but they don't always play along. So just like that, we can just bombard everything back there and clean up the stragglers. Just like that, ambush 1 is done. Let's go ahead and head back to the starting area. So that brings us to 240 kills. We have 5 secrets in this map to get, and you get all 5 of them before the exit room. So go ahead, jump down there so we teleport back just to save a little time. Now, here, go to the very back. Yes, that's damaging floor, and use the supercharge to mitigate it. And now we have our staircase. You'll be here quite a few times. Go to the left first, and then let's get ready for ambush number 2. Go ahead and get your Berserk Fist ready, since we did get the Berserk right at the beginning with secret number 1. And now let's just go ahead and pound the Archvile into dust before we even trigger the trap. Now, the only problem is if you dodge the fire, there's a chance the Arachnotrons wake up, but that's why we got all that chain gun ammo, because it will stun them a whole lot better than you trying to do this with a single barrel shotgun. So go ahead, stun lock them, and there are more Arachnotrons deeper in the room, but we really want to get the Archviles out here. Ideally, in a perfect world, you still have a few rockets left to throw at them, but our Revenant and Baron didn't play along in the hallway, so let's instead just take out the Arachnotrons first, since we're going to have to do this without rockets. And then we want to make a dash for the SSG. So get it, and hide behind the pillar that's closer, because like you saw, the pillar that's far away you can still get zapped from. And there we can do peekaboo with the Archviles, get them out of here before we move forward. This ambush is brutal, mainly because there's a lot of RNG elements to it. So let's go ahead and get the Archviles out of here, hit the switch, and the ambush will trigger when we go to pick this stuff up. So pick it up and stay on the right. So we want to coax the Cyber Demon into shooting, we want to hide over here, and ideally he'll get the Archviles mad at him. That way we can take advantage of the chaos. Take out anything that doesn't want to infight, just like that. And at this point, we want to go out of our way not to touch the Archviles until we have to. Basically, like make the Cyber Demon take them out for us. And again, them reviving the Arachnotron to fight the Cyber Demon is helping us also. So just like that, just stay behind the Archviles. He'll take them out. And this one, no problem. Alright. So just like that, now we can go ahead and unload with the SSG. We have plenty of ammo, and as you see, they give you 40 ammo back right beside them, just to replenish what we're using. So there's plenty of room here to go back and forth. You're not going to hit anything. He can't splash off of anything. Just make sure not to get caught off guard by his rockets. And just like that, he's literally a sitting duck. Few more times, and he's out of here. Go ahead, let's hit the switch. Careful of the damaging floor again. The switch lowers the lift so we can get back out of here. So the whole purpose of that room was literally just getting the super shotgun and megasphere and some rockets. So let's go over here, watch the God Machine in action, crushing up the pinkies. Very atmospheric. As we come to this area, as you see the yellow bars there, we'll be back for those. So instead, we'll go ahead, grab the Mega Armor, and head over this way into what I like to call the second major hub area. So you have the entryway, where you have the teleporter that leads to a staircase, and then you have this Grand Master area, which is its own hub area with things to do. So let's go ahead and go to the right first, hit the switch, and that lowers 2 platforms. The one on the right takes you to a Yellow Key fight. The other one teleports you, I believe, back up top. Now, with the Yellow Key fight, we want to go ahead, coax in the enemies. As you see, we've got Hell Knights and Barons on top of each other, but jump in the pit, go ahead and get the Cyber Demon and Revenants infighting. That way, potentially, the Mancubus can get caught up in it too. Now, topside, we want to immediately take out the meatballs. We all know how bad they are in Sunlust. And believe me, we're going to get more than we could ever want in the final ambush. So, go ahead, take them out while we can. Not too worried about anything else in this fight, because the Barons and Hell Knights can't even move until you start taking them out. So they were put on top of each other intentionally. Originally I thought when we did the blind run that was a Kex issue. No, they're legitimately set like that. That way if you accidentally get too many rockets near them and blow up the Hell Knight, you're going to end up releasing the Baron on yourself. So really creative design there. Again, for those who did see the blind run, I thought it was a Kex issue. No, it's working as intended. So go ahead, take the Cacodemon out, and there we can get one of the supercharges. As you see, they still cannot move until we free them. So let's go ahead and make sure we stay up close with the SSG, that way they both get sprayed by our bullets. And just like that, we've got that set out. Do the same over here. And believe me, dealing with barons is going to be a pastime, leisurely activity by the end of this map, because I don't think I've ever seen a map, even slaughter maps, with as many barons as this map seems to have in it. So get ready. We're going to see a whole lot more of them. For now, let's go ahead and take them out. And there's a second supercharge. We can also grab the yellow key card, but this is still the yellow key fight. So let's go ahead, grab the environment suit. We know the cyber demon's still down here. We want it to fight with the mancubus. So at this point, just stay around the cyber demon and beware if it turns on you. Also keep in mind where those two teleporters are to get us back topside as quick as we need to as our suit begins to wear off, because we do not want to do anything until all the mancubus are gone. So at this point, just keep running back here, and beware because sometimes that cyber demon, when he takes out the mancubus, he'll immediately open fire on you before infighting again. So just like that, always be aware when he switches targets. Just like that, we've got one more. This time we'll help the mancubus since it's not to survive the volley. And just like that, it's just us and the cyber demon, wide open spaces. Let's go ahead and tenderize it as much as we can, and now a suit's wearing out to teleport immediately. Alright, so now we've got this, let's go ahead, grab another suit, get back down here, take out the cyber demon, and let's go hit the switch that the mancubus were guarding up on their walkway. And now this switch is going to lower this area, which lets us teleport completely out of here back to the start. So now let's go back up our staircase again. Like I said, we will be very well accustomed to this staircase that links the two hub areas to each other. Round the corner, back up our lift, and again, be careful of the two pitfalls. Easy way to get around it's just turn to the right, so you just have a straight run both times. That way you don't fall through and go crazy. Now over here, let's go around, take advantage of the new rad suit to hit this switch back here that helps open a secret in the trenches. And we're not going to use it just yet, but at least we've got it open. Now what that did is that opened up the megasphere that's down there to our right. So let's go ahead, take out the archvile from the longest distance possible with the rocket launcher, and move on. So back over this way, we want to jump down and hit the switch that's in the corner here. Now this is going to open up a secret challenge for us, which is secret number 2. Now secret number 2 and 3 are both tied to this challenge, so go back where we got the SSG, now this is open. And that teases what you have to do in this challenge. So, as you can see, all these different switches, they cause candles to teleport into all these spots, which can telefrag any enemies in the center. So, we want to lure the cyber demon into the middle, anywhere, and as you can see, they're released every few seconds from each other. So you ideally want to do this quick, but they don't always play along. Hit the switch, telefrag the cyber demons out, just like that. And the one thing to be careful of is, the last 2 cyber demons are released at the same time. So make sure to save that megasphere for near the end of the fight, just to give you the best chance of survival here. And whatever you do, don't waste the switches until you know for sure they're in there. Just because you only have so many switches to work with, and if you fail, look how many rockets we don't have to take these things out with. So you almost have to telefrag these things. And just like that, we got him. One more to go. Just stay around the biggest group of switches, and once that's done, we can hit these 2 switches. But be careful, you will take damage getting the switches. So there's your health tax. And just like that, out of here, we get secret number 3, which is basically just for finishing the secret challenge, giving us 3 secrets at this point. And now, one way to go. Since we dropped the yellow bars, we can now go to one of the biggest fights in the map. Clearly, this one doesn't even come close to the main ambush this map is famous for, but this one definitely gives you a preview, and you know it's huge considering they give you 3 megaspheres and a BFG with full ammo. So get ready, this one's going to be crazy, but we want to follow a sequence of events. So immediately stand here, take out the archvile, that way we don't get randomly zapped going through here. Go through the imps, hit this switch to release the rest of the archviles. Take out that one that's guarding the energy cell pack. Go back to this one that is guarding a supercharge to get our health back up. And at this point, we want to keep going on an archvile hunting spree. Now, a good thing is they're most likely going to be taken out by the Hell Knights and the Cyber Demons, but we still want to go ahead and target them specifically just so we don't get randomly zapped if a random tracer accidentally hits them. So, again, you're just hunting for archviles. You've got 3 different megaspheres to heal you back up with. And once the archviles are taken out, cyber demons become the next biggest priority. So, let's go ahead and get our energy cells back up. As you can see, there's 3 switches back there we need to hit. So, to take out the cyber demons efficiently, there's a kill switch up there that we can use, which is actually a secret. So we do want to clear out the revenants as things start clearing up on this side. Just make sure that wandering cyber demon's out of here so it doesn't sneak up behind you. Those 3 that are stationary we're not worried about. And now we need to go ahead and take out the revenants, or at least get enough of them out of the way that we can safely get up there to hit the kill switch. So, make our way up. They do give you a berserk as soon as you get up there, just to help with your health, and we need for our item count. So, let's go ahead to group any of the remaining ones together, ignore the barons unless they literally get in our way, and just like that, we get ourselves the berserk, take out the remaining revenants, and the kill switch is on the end, and that is secret number 4. As you can see, this switch literally immediately kills all 3 of those cyber demons. So, at that point, we only have 1 secret left to find in this map. Literally, they give you access to all 5 secrets before the main ambush of this map. Now, the whole concept behind this is we have reached the machine that is creating demons for the invasion. So I love that the story actually did have a fitting payoff to all this. You expect it to be insanity because this machine literally produces the enemies. So, ingenious way of them tying the entire series and all of its insanity up into one perfect bow. So let's go ahead, get the barons out of here. And then we want to go ahead and make use of our final secret. So, just do a quick double check, make sure nothing's moving around, nothing's firing at you, and then let's make sure all 3 of these switches are pressed. And just like that, we are good. Let's head on out. You can literally just jump down behind the lift. Now, let's go back over here where the yellow bars were, and we can jump in the pit to get that megasphere that we lowered from that switch. Just like that, that is secret number 5, giving us all secrets. Now let's go to this arena, which originally had yellow bars blocking it. As you can see, we've got a ton of chain gunners. This is probably the easiest ambush in the entire map. Probably. It's between this one and the super shotgun ambush for me, on which one's easier. But you can literally cheese this fight with the BFG, because as long as you know that the game is going to max out your cell ammo right after this fight, you know you can be as liberal as possible with it. So, the key thing is knowing where to fire at. So let's go ahead to make sure we got all the ammo, hit the switch, and immediately get the corners first. Just go in the middle to splash all those 3 out, those 3, then let's do sweeping passes here in the back. That takes all the main group out, and then just quickly clean up. And you can clean up with the chain gun. Again, as you see, if they get too close to those big pillars sticking out of the ground, they can get revived by the archviles that are under there. So do be careful if any of the chain gunners get brought back on you. Now we can just quickly BFG out this Caco Cloud. This one's easy. There's really no threat to this Caco Cloud. You even have 2 supercharges back there to help you. So let's go ahead, clear all this. And just like that, this ambush is done. And that's actually the final ambush we deal with before tackling the main area. So let's go ahead over here now, get our rockets back up, hit that switch. And this section is done. Let's head back out. And just like that, we get back to hub area number 2. This time ready to go into the quote-unquote final ambush. I say that because it's almost like its own level. I mean, there's a ton of things you have to do in it. It's really just the final area. You've reached the core of the God Machine. You have to figure out what makes it tick and how to shut it down. So, this basically maxes out all of our ammo, Megasphere to max out the health, and let's get ready for absolute chaos. So, immediately what we want to do is go to the right. Don't fire to wake things up till you have to. Take out this literal room of pain elementals. Don't worry, this still is not anywhere near the most you'll see in this map. And then blast our way back out. So that way we can at least get things infighting in this arena before we pick a side. So we went to the right first to take out the pain elementals, go to the left to release 2 cyber demons, also 2 archviles, but again they'll just get caught up in the mix. So let's go through here. We'll just let everything else fight it out. And now let's go back where the pain elementals were. And let's get ready for, to me, the hardest ambush in the entire map. I'm sorry, final ambush, but you were nowhere near as difficult for me as this one was. So, get the Megasphere and get ready. There are 1,000 different ways you can tackle this. I literally referenced Decino, I referenced A1S, I referenced speedrunners, and I referenced Jacek Bourne as well. Best thing to do is just unload unholy heck with the rocket launcher, draw everything back to this back left corner, because we're going to have to move around the gap. There's just way too many barons. It would take you an eternity. So wait until you see an opening and then go for it. We want to go around the pile with the BFG. That way we can get ourselves out of any trouble if they start pinning us in. Now over here, let's keep pushing the imp wave back. That's just going to keep flooding in above us. Because the problem with the imp wave is they're going to keep raining down chip damage, which we definitely don't need. So again, just like before, it was the back left corner. Now it's the back right corner, so that we still have that hole to run around. And again, run around with the BFG to make sure you're safe and don't get trapped. Now over here, let's make sure to BFG out the Revenants, because they're flooding in from the central arena down there. Now that the Revenants are taken care of, let's go back to work over here. Stay in the corner so that any remaining Revenants can't throw missiles at you. And just like that, we can continue thinning down the herd. You can shake the rocket launcher back and forth a little bit just to get more splash damage on more enemies. But, as you see, it gets a little easier to go back and forth. Now, let's keep the imps at bay, because as you see now, we have a staircase to get out of here. We don't want to use that until we get ourselves down to about 20 rockets left. So you do not want to leave here wasting every bit of ammo you have. Trust me. Now, if there are some barons left alive, that's fine. They'll actually make their way up the staircase so that you can beat them when we have more ammo. So at this point, let's keep going. Let's try one more pass over here. Because we're just about out of ammo, let's make sure those Revenants get taken out. And just like that, let's do some more dodging. The pile is much thinner now, and again, we want to get to about 20, 30 rockets, somewhere in there, before we finally call it quits on this ambush. So, right about there, let's go ahead and make our escape. So there's a box of rockets there, but all the others we've used. Let's go up here. Now that the imps are gone, hit this switch, which lowers one of those yellow pillars. And now blow our way out, since there is a Megasphere there to help. Just ignore the Archviles for now. We'll have to deal with them in a minute. And let's make sure the Cyber Demons are still helping us infight everything else. Because we're going to have to get around the Cyber Demons to hit the next switch to access the button leading to the final ambush. Not the final ambush, but the final ambush. It'll make sense in a minute. So, let's continue around here. At this point, we're just focusing on getting things infighting with each other, and trying not to get blasted into next century. It is very difficult with so many projectiles launching around, but we do have a Megasphere right here. Grab it, get in the door. And again, just BFG your way through here. We do not have time to get hung up on the imps. jump in here, rocket launcher at the ray, because this one is quite nasty, but there are a few different ways to cheese it. So let's go up here to the switch, and as soon as we hit it, we're going to have two different pockets of revenants. Just sit here and rain rockets down on both sides. So just alternate back and forth from one side to the other. That way you have a good chance, as the missiles get close, to making them hook into the wall behind you. So just like that, back and forth, left and right. And this way we're also keeping right by that megasphere so we can just fall on it as soon as we need to. So again, just left and right, back and forth. And just like that, the revenants will always come to that peak so you can take them out easy, no problem. Now, once the revenants are gone, let's get our megasphere, completely re-healing ourselves from all that chaos. And now we want to go ahead and pile the rockets up on the imps above us, but beware because you've still got those archviles down there, so we're going to have to move quick. Let's BFG our way through before we get zapped. And there is switch number 2, so that lowers the second of the yellow walls. And now down here, BFG your way through this entire mess. Because there is cell ammo here, you don't have to worry so much about running out. This is where things get tricky, because now we need to start thinning down this entire arena. Now, there are rockets scattered all throughout on the sides, and a few energy cells in the corners. So let's be careful. Let's start throwing rockets at the group of archviles over here. And let's also make our way around. We don't want to get too hung up with things. Because as you can see, that absolute pillar of Mancubus guarding the God Machine's core is going to make your life miserable. Especially considering they can move all the way around that thing freely. So, if you have one side that looks empty, it won't be empty for long. The others will be chasing you. Also, one thing that's easy to forget about, notice on the right, up in the ether, those glowing platforms, there are a bunch of archviles overlooking this entire arena. So stay away from that half that we came in on, because at any point, they could zap you. Now, that we have a rest back here, let's go ahead and deal with the archviles. Just plow straight into them with the BFG, use this corner for safety, and to get our rockets back up. Make sure they're all taken out, rocket any stragglers, and as you see, the Barons make their way over from the previous fight. That's why I said you didn't have to worry too much about the Barons. They'll end up coming up the stairs and just group themselves together for you. Now, go ahead and take out the archviles there with the BFG, using this corner for safety against all the Mancubus. And once those archviles are down, this ambush is pretty much done. The only thing you have to be careful about are these raising and lowering platforms, because I cannot tell you the amount of times I have blown myself up strafe running with the rocket launcher and one of those platforms raised right in my face. So, just like that. So be extremely cautious. It's very easy to blow yourself up, and stay away from this side of the arena as much as possible, since those archviles that are up on the sides could zap you at any point. You have no way to counter them yet. There is going to be a switch that'll wipe them out for us. So let's go ahead and grab this megasphere, and let's make sure the Mancubus are gone. They are basically the sentinels guarding the God Machine, preventing us from getting to its core to eliminate it. So, let's go ahead and take down the security system. Again, very, very easy to blow yourself up on these pillars. Be careful, because the pillars are kind of scattered in almost a semicircle formation. So they're not all at the same elevation with each other. So you could think you're good and still get a pillar right in your face. So just be careful. Like I said, I would not caution it this much if it hadn't happened at least a bazillion times to me. At this point, once you get the herd thinned down enough, just take them out traditionally with the SSG. That way we save on what little good ammo we have left. And be very careful grabbing any of this ammo, since again, those archviles are patrolling that entire half. Now, let's go ahead and clean up the rest of them. And then we get ready for one of the most bonkers fights that is going to completely blow everything we just did wide open. And I'll tell you, it is an absolute scramble for survival as we go in the final door. Again, all those barons that are just grouped up there at the top of the staircase, they'll just have to wait a little bit longer when we get a little bit more cell ammo to work with. But as you can see, they're all there now. So you don't have to go back into that ambush. You don't have to go running with barons anymore. That section's done. Let's go ahead and make sure we've got all the energy cell packs out of all the corners. That way we can finally get the security sentinels out of here, as I like to call them. BFG leading the way since they are as bulky as heck. And then when you get it down to just 2 or 3, just SSG your way out of here. Again, they need to be down before you trigger the next part of this ambush, because it is going to be absolute pandemonium, and we are actually going into it with a major disadvantage. Ideally, you want to have about 20 to 30 rockets for this next part. Ideally, have a full stack of rockets, but again, it can be taxing taking all these enemies out, especially if you're trying to do it reasonably quickly. If you're taking your time using the chain gun and SSG, you could end up easily here with a bunch of rockets. But you really want a lot more than what we have. Since we don't have the rockets, we're going to have to muscle our way in with the BFG. So, this is literally a room full of archviles. Let's go ahead, do as many in and out rounds as we can, just to prevent them from getting out of the doorway. And once they start getting to a point where it becomes overwhelming like this, let's switch over here and take out whatever is out with the rocket launcher. So there are going to be a bunch of archviles that are still stuck inside that room, especially as long as we draw them to this side of the room. Go ahead and take out whatever little things they revived. And let's go over here, because now we are going to have to go ahead and lure them out of that room. Because inside that room is an extra 200 energy cells that can completely change everything. So let's go ahead and get the last of the rocket ammo that's laying around here. Again, being aware that you can be zapped by the archviles outside the arena over here. And by now, the archviles should be out of that room. So go ahead and use the pillars for safety. Let's get in there. There's one of the energy cell packs. And now defend this door with your life. This is why we picked up all the rockets. That way we can prevent any other archviles from making their way back in here. We don't really care about the revenants and such. We can just go ahead and get them all stuck in the doorway before they can make it too far in. Now let's grab the other energy cell pack and blow our way out of here. There should only be 2 or 3 archviles left. Go ahead, make sure they go down. As long as the archviles are down, we don't have to worry about much else. If there is still one left that we don't have ammo for, we can completely get around them. So let's go ahead, take a stop there, and get back in the room. We want to immediately get up to the top. They are going to give you a mega sphere, so don't worry. Hit this switch, and that releases the final ambush. So get ready, because this area is going to get flooded yet again. And that archvile that did get left behind has no idea what's coming for it, because it's about to get stuck in this absolute mess of enemies. So let's go ahead back around here now that the area is flooded with revenants, Hell Knights, and Cyber Demons with a few new archviles. Let's go back to our corner here for safety. And as soon as we have our bearings straight, as you see a whole wall of paint elementals over there, let's make our way through here to the mega sphere as fast as we can. Grab it so that we can hit the switch, getting plasma ammo along the way. That switch kills off all the archviles that are up there outside the arena. So that way you don't have to worry about getting sniped from the background. And just look at all these meatballs. Holy cow. All I can say is try to hit them as soon as possible, just to limit how many lost souls they're going to throw at you. Just like A1 said in his video, this is absolutely a wall of souls. And honestly, how this map was not just called Wall of Souls, I have no idea. But I understand it. It is literally a machine that's creating the demons. So, God Machine works. Now that we're circling all this, let's go ahead and make another pass as we're trying to limit as many of these lost souls as we can just by taking out the source. And again, running back and forth in a giant U shape so that the cyber demons can take care of most revenants for us. The danger of throwing BFG balls here is a tracer accidentally hitting the archviles, turning them hostile against you. But we do want to go ahead and plow straight into the pain elementals just to keep them backed off, because they can easily take over the arena in pretty much no time at all. Go back for more energy cells. Let's get the last of the megaspheres that's out here. So we're going to have to make this 200 health last at this point. And now let's go ahead, juke all the Revenant missiles, get back over here. And here comes the intense cleanup. Make sure the Archvile's out of here so he can't be hitting us from gosh knows where. And again, another pass at the pain elementals. We've got to get these things down. And also, while we have the ammo, take out the Barons, so we can finally be done with that room and its ambush. And if that wasn't enough, there should be one stack left of the energy cells here in the corner. So let's go ahead, grab our last stack to get ourselves right back up. And now we need to make sure every pain elemental is done. We don't care about lost souls. They don't even count toward UV max. So if there are any lost souls floating around in the ether, it doesn't matter. They don't count as monsters. The pain elementals, however, do have to go down. So let's make sure they're out of here. Let's make sure the revenants are gone. And at this point, just rocket anything that's left. Again, be careful with these pillars, and especially be careful with lost souls flying in your face as you try to use the rocket launcher. So, just like that, we can go ahead and get all of them taken care of. Get all the revenants taken care of. Make sure as many of these lost souls are away from that machine core as possible, because that's to have its own problems. And now let's finally deal with the last of the Barons. It literally took us this long to finally put an end to that Baron fight. But daggone it, at least we finally got them out of here. Just like that. So, now that that's taken care of, let's clean up as many lost souls as we see. Even though it's not required, you don't want them flooding into the final room with you. So run up here, because there are energy cell packs in the corners around this central, I always want to say engine core, but I guess it's the God Machine core. Same kind of premise here. As we use the BFG, take out the Revenants. Don't worry about having enough ammo for the end. They give you all the ammo you're going to need for defeating the God Machine core itself. So let's go ahead, take out all the pesky lost souls that won't let us climb this thing in peace. Sheesh. And you are just going to hide behind the wall, apparently. Okay. Anyway, go ahead and get the last of these out so we don't have anything biting us in the back. Because the problem is, these lost souls can make the final fight excruciating, because they can distract you constantly in a moment where you really don't have time to be distracted. And you'll see what I mean here in just a minute, because I believe that was the last pain elemental. I think we can finally climb our way in. So let's go up here. And now that that's taken care of, we just need to get ourselves back to 600 cells before we drop in there. Don't worry about health, because literally the last item in this map is a megasphere. So, go ahead, take out the lost souls. Let's get our energy cells. As you see, we also get 3 in each of these corners, right by the core. So, get rid of him. There's 3 of them. And now we want to go back around here to get the other 3, bringing us to 600. Again, get out of here, lost soul. Well, the problem is he literally got in here with us, so we don't have time for this. Just wait till the wall lowers, take out 2 archviles. Turn around, take out another 2. And keep doing it, because every one of these corners are going to drop. And it's almost always immediately behind where you just took them out. If you're fast enough, you can take them both out in one shot. But do understand that the very last one that drops, the opening back out into the main arena also drops. So if you do run out of ammo and you have to escape, you can. So again, just do all the corners, and just like that, it is open, and we are done here. Literally, the God Machine was powered by nothing but Archviles. I mean, of course, it had to be. That's what Sunlust is famous for. So, jump into our gigantic teleporter, and that is going to bring us out of the machine itself. God Machine is done. What a way to see this thing out. 2,500 kills. Unbelievable. But honestly, the only way I could see something like Sunlust ending. It was so difficult getting through here, especially the Baron fight. I think of all the fights in the entire map, that one was the one that held me up the longest, because no matter how many times I tried to find different routes through there, I constantly ran out of ammo trying to get through that fight, or I would get whacked by the revenants up above. But this has been such an outstanding series. You know, it's infuriating many of the times, but I cannot deny it does make you better at the game. So if you've not already, please check out the Sunlust playlist. Like, share, comment, subscribe so more people can see our videos. And we will see you back next time for the end of series wrap-up and our rankings. Take care, everyone.